It can be really hard to be excited when your injury report has 14 players listed and 10 of those 14 players are starters. Let's read it off. So, players that did not practice today for the Baltimore Ravens: Lamar Jackson, Marlon Humphrey, Roquan Smith, Nate Wiggins, Ronnie Stanley, Chidobe Awuzie, Pat Ricard, and Devontae Walker. And the players that were limited were Kyle Hamilton, Tyler Linderbaum, Kyle Vanoy, Emery Jones, Travis Jones, and Brent Urban. My goodness, that is such a crazy long list. But there are some positives to take away from it. Let's start with good old Lamar Jackson. Now, we know Lamar Jackson is, of course, dealing with a hamstring injury. And I got to apologize again because during that Chiefs game and right after that Chiefs game, I was not sure that hamstring injury was as serious as it appears to be. So my apologies on that. I was wrong on that. That's on me. But this hamstring injury, we got a report on it yesterday from the Baltimore Sun. They said that he's expected to be out this week against the Houston Texans, and then he could be out an additional 2 to 3 weeks. I said, oh, yikes, that's not good at all. But then Ian Rapoport, he came to save the day potentially today because he said, I don't know where that 2 to 3 weeks report came from. He said Lamar Jackson is week to week. And get this, he said that Lamar Jackson is going to try to give it a go this week against them Houston Texans. And I said, okay, yeah, there we go. That's what we want to hear, baby. But we got to temper our expectations because, again, with the hamstring injuries, they can be very, very finicky. And with Lamar Jackson especially, you don't want him to come back too early. You don't want to rush him back to the field and then make things worse. So the Baltimore Ravens, is very important that they take their time with this whole thing. And we know that they will because the Baltimore Ravens, especially over these past couple of years, and especially since they hired Adrian Dixon, who used to work for the Titans, he specializes in injury recovery. So these boys, when they come back, they can come back right. So they're not going to rush anybody out there when they first get back. And that's a beautiful thing. So with Lamar Jackson, when his hamstring is right, he will play. If his hamstring is not right, he will not play. Simple as that. So with Lamar Jackson, we do have some hope that he could play this weekend, but we're still going to temper those expectations. Now, John Harbaugh, he had a press conference today, and that boy was not in the mood at all, especially when it came to questions about Lamar Jackson. Let's hear what Harbaugh had to say and how he said it.
Yeah, we just kind of take it day by day through the week. You'll see the injury reports. It's really all those guys. I mean, we could sit here and you could ask me about every single guy, and it's a fairly long list.
Mm-hmm. It is.
You know, who's got time for that?
Well, we do.
So you'll see who practices and who didn't, and you know, we'll be working our way through the week with guys. You'll see guys back tomorrow.
Okay.
You see guys back Friday.
Okay.
See guys back Sunday.
Oh, okay.
We'll get as many guys back as we can, but we're also preparing for not having some guys back, and that's what we'll prepare for, and we'll be ready to go. And
let's get it then.
Our best game of the year.
Was it one particular play in Kansas City? Or
no, I really don't have any information on that, and I really don't think it matters. You know, it's not really what I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about the team and getting ready to practice, and Lamar's working. You know, he's doing a great job. I talked to him yesterday for a long time. He's in here all day today working and in the meetings and different things like that. So
that's good.
Yeah, it's just kind of what we do.
With Lamar, I know you gripped him with all the info. You would say day to day with him.
How about I just don't say anything? Okay. That's what I would do. I
just don't want to take anything out of it.
Yeah. Why don't we just leave it alone, and we'll just. I mean, yeah, the injury. Thank you. The injury report will be out at 4.
Oh, man, they done set that boy Harbaugh off. Now, I know it could have been easy to miss the positives that were in Harbaugh speaking, especially because he had that little negative vibe around him. He kind of had an attitude and whatnot. And Harbaugh, it's okay. We all have our bad days where we just get a little more upset than others. So I give you a pass on that one. But he did drop some positive bombshells in what he was saying. First off, he talked about how there were a lot of guys that were missing from practice today, which there were, so a whole lot. But he said, hey, some guys could return on Thursday, which is tomorrow. I said, okay, Harbaugh. Then he said, some guys could return on Friday, which is in 2 days. I said, okay, Harbaugh, let's go. Then he said, some guys could even return on Sunday. And I think with that one, I think he was trolling a little bit. I think he was being a little bit petty. But Harbaugh, hey, it is possible, though, because some guys could be game time decisions. So we'll see. Again, will that apply to Lamar Jackson? We don't know, and we won't know until we do know. Now, when he did talk about guys possibly returning tomorrow, Nate Wiggins, could he be one of those players? Well, from the presser, when he was asked about Nate Wiggins' status, Harbaugh said, why don't we wait until tomorrow. I was, ooh, okay, I like that. But then RShields97 on Twitter, he said, if his elbow was fractured or some major injury, I think we would know. My guess is that he has a deep bone bruise. So I'm sure RShields97 probably has some experience in the medical field. But Jess Ribick responded to that. He said, well, was in the locker room and didn't appear to have a sling on, which I guess is better than the alternative. Oh, so does that mean, could it mean that Nate Wiggins is not necessarily healthy, but he ain't hurting, well, nearly as bad as he was in that game? It sounds like it, because if he ain't got no cast on, if he ain't got no sling on, he's walking around the locker room and everything with it. That is such a good sign, and boy, we need all the good signs that we can get right now, especially in that second, really just in the defense as a whole, but especially in the secondary for sure. But guess what? There was much more to be happy about. Emery Jones. I thought this was going to be a redshirt year for him. I thought that he was just going to be on the NFI list for the entire season, and we wouldn't see him till sometime in 2026. But the Baltimore Ravens today, they officially opened his 21-day window to start practicing, and he practiced today. Harbaugh did say that, hey, he's been in all the meetings, so he knows all the calls and all that. They did also say that they're going to try him out both at guard and tackle. I would much rather them just stick him at guard, have him at one spot. But hey, I'm not a coach, so they know more than me. But it is nice that we are getting some internal offensive line help. And that's a good thing, because is Daniel Falele going to get benched? No. Is Andrew Voorhees going to get benched? No, neither one of those guys is going to get benched. And Tyler Linderbaum been struggling. The whole offensive line has been struggling this year. I don't want to just single them two guys out like they've been the only issue. Our starting five has had a lot of problems this season just as a unit. But if the Baltimore Ravens could find areas here and there along that offensive line to where they could improve it, they could get better, then that's exactly what they need to do, both before and certainly after Lamar Jackson comes back. I ain't saying that Emery Jones, he going to be activated to the roster just like that and be a starter from jump. No, they're not going to do it like that. It's a process. But you got some options. You got some guys in-house. You just signed Kenyon Green, so that's another option. Emery Jones going to be back soon. You got Corey Bullock sitting there waiting. You got Carson Wentz. Like, you have some options that you could try to improve this offensive line. So, Ravens, I mean, why not? Now, we know Roquan Smith, that he's going to be out for a little while. They said he has a grade 2 hamstring injury. So that's tough. That sucks. So what do you do if you're missing one of your key guys? Well, you got to next man up. And we've seen that with Trenton Simpson. We've seen that with Teddy Buchanan. We've seen that with Jake Hummel. And we see that with Jay Higgins, hopefully, even though I don't think we saw him on the field at all. But the Baltimore Ravens say, you know what, let's look for some outside options. So they brought in veteran linebacker Eric Kendricks for a visit. And they took it a step further because they actually offered him a spot on the practice squad too. And guess what happened? That boy said, no, thank you. Let's read the report from Tom Pelissero. He said, Eric Kendricks declined an offer to start out on Baltimore's practice squad and is headed home this morning. Off-season shoulder surgery kept him out, but he's in peak shape now and determined to keep playing. He has 1,174 tackles over 10 years, including 138 last season. Now, I did see a lot of Ravens fans that were like, oh, man, why would the Baltimore Ravens offer him a spot on the practice squad? He need to just be on the active roster from jump. And I honestly don't think it's an issue at all. I mean, obviously, he felt some kind of issue. I don't know what it was. Maybe he was like, you know what? You want to put me on a practice? No, I need to be on the active roster right here, right now. Maybe that's it. But I don't know. I just felt like there was nothing wrong with what they did. That has been a rule over these past couple of years where even if you're a veteran, you can still go on the practice squad. Even if you're a complete, like, look at Dez Bryant. When we signed Dez Bryant, we signed him to the practice squad first. And he, at one point in his career, he was one of the best receivers in the game. But he still went to the practice squad. So I guess Kendricks was just like, you know what? Nah, I'm straight. You want me and my resume to be affiliated with that defense? Nah, I'm good. Now, somebody who did accept their offer to the Baltimore Ravens practice squad on defense It was cornerback Amani Oruwariye. And let's read the report from Jordan Schultz. It says, source, the Ravens are signing cornerback Amani Oruwariye following the latest injuries to their secondary, including Marlon Humphrey and Nate Wiggins. Oruwariye spent the last season with the Cowboys, starting 6 games. He has 10 career interceptions, including 6 interceptions and 11 pass breakups in 2021 with the Lions. Okay, that boy had him a season in 2021, ain't he? That boy was balling. So, hopefully, he can bring that to the Baltimore Ravens and he can stay ready just in case he got to get ready to play. And somebody else who the Baltimore Ravens signed to the practice squad, like we mentioned earlier, is Kenyon Green. Let's read the report from Jeff Ribick. It said Ravens signed guard Kenyon Green to their practice squad. He worked out for the team last week after he was released by the Philadelphia Eagles. Green was a 2022 first-round pick by the Texans. So this boy, former first-round pick, we got another one, baby. And it said he's made 23 starts in parts of the last 3 seasons. So, okay, cool. So he was a first-round pick for a reason, right? So hopefully, maybe the Baltimore Ravens can rejuvenate him and get him back going, because that would be nice for both him and the team. And the corresponding move that the Baltimore Ravens made was unfortunately releasing hometown hero from Owings Mills, Sam Mustafa. Now's my favorite part of these videos where we get to hear from you. Let's get straight into it. First question came from patron, my guy Baby Ray 5210. What's up, baby? He said, boy, oh boy, man, oh man, I'm on a roller coaster of emotions with our Ravens team, but I'm still trying to keep faith because I know what type of team this could be, but man, are they making it hard for us. I have a couple of statements I want to run by you and shed some light on why I feel our run game has not been what it was last year, besides not giving the ball to King Henry. LOL. Oh yeah, that makes sense. That's a big part of it right there, but let me get into it. He said, what has been missing this season, or should I say, who has been missing this season? And that, my friend, is Project Pat. And he said, and likely the 2 best run blocking units on the team. Also, with this being the last year of both contracts, this should show how important it is to bring them both back. The way that Pat clears the path for Henry from the inside out and likely clearing on the outside was something of beauty. And us not having that the first 3 and 4 games of the season is what's killing us in the run game. I'm praying that Pat can be back right after the bye week because he is a force multiplier on offense. This whole Pat Ricard thing is so weird. I don't know what is going on with him. Harbaugh said about a month and a half ago that Ricard was week to weeks. Yeah, we saw how that turned out. So, they said it's a calf strain. It's the weirdest thing ever. So who knows, man? But yeah, Ravens are certainly missing them. But at the same time, something that we talked about before, Ravens stop themselves so many times before the ball is even snapped because they don't even, like you said, they don't even be giving it to Derrick Henry. It's like they don't even be trying like that. This man had 8 carries. 8 carries. 8 carries total in a 4-quarter, 15-minute quarter game. He wasn't hurt. He wasn't injured. He ain't get ejected from the game. He ain't get disqualified from the game. You would think, oh, Derrick Henry 8 carries? Oh, he must have got kicked out. No. Ravens, y'all better stop it. Anyway, he said, my next statement is honestly with the sports media. I really dislike how every year they say, I don't care what the Ravens do in the regular season. I want to see what they do in the playoffs. And now that we are off to this horrendous start, everyone wants to bash and drop us like a bag of potatoes. It just doesn't make any sense to me. Do I think our season is over? No. Do I feel like this adversity is what we needed to get over the hump? Absolutely. He said, I want our backs against the wall, forcing that dog out of us, because in all honesty, back in 2012, when we played the Chargers and our playoff hopes was on the line and we ran hey diddle diddle, right up the middle to start our would-be Super Bowl course, I feel that upcoming back around, we had a lot of bandwagon folks holding us back. We are an underdog team that gets it out the mud, and I feel like this is the start we needed to get the ball rolling to unleash that dog in us. Because even though I've been on the fire or train, I have a feeling this defense will get it together, even with us losing Namdi. He said, sorry for the long rant, but I still have faith in the team. So say it with me. We will win the Super Bowl this year. We will win a Super Bowl this year. See, this is like a Ravens therapy session, man. And we all need it, especially being Ravens. If you are a Ravens fan, yeah, we need a therapy for sure, because they be, oh boy, they be trying us. They really do. But we still love them though. Anyway, yeah, I am with you on a lot of that. Now, what I will say, as far as the adversity, it's not even the adversity, because, yeah, that's something that you do need. That makes you stronger. It builds character. And the Ravens, they got a lot of character to build, especially right now. But with the underdog thing, you could say the Ravens are underdogs, but I haven't liked that whole underdog mentality, really, especially these past couple of years. Because you got to pick or choose one. You can't be one of the best teams in the league, having one of the best records over and over and over, but still be like, oh no, we underdogs. I don't agree with that. But now, I mean, you got one of the best rosters. Obviously, a lot of people hurt, but you're 1-3. So now you're definitely an underdog now. So I mean, whether I like the mentality or not, now the Baltimore Ravens are actually underdogs because things ain't looking good right now. But like you said, it ain't over. Next question came from another Teamkeepitclean patron, my guy Mikey J. He said, Christian Wilkins, what do we have to do to get this guy on our team? Am I missing something? We have a serious need at the defensive line, and this guy is still out there somehow. Maybe getting Wilkins to become buddies with Daniel Farley will speed up the process. Why you gotta do that, man? With Christian Wilkins, I know the Raiders, they did say they wanted him to get like a second opinion on his foot or something like that. So I don't know if he's healthy or not. That could be a possible holdup, maybe. But because like obviously if he ain't healthy, he can't do nothing for the Ravens. So maybe that's it. Or maybe they just like, you know what? We don't want him. But at the same time, even, again, with all that stuff that he had, and we don't even know exactly what stuff he had going on. We just heard some rumors, but who knows what the truth is. I'm sure Ravens got the scoop on that because they got the real sources there. But maybe they just like, no thanks. Next question came from my guy Andrew. He said, Lamar to the rescue? Maybe. Hey, Ingraven, hope all is well with you and your family. I heard the little one crying during the post-game. Yeah, she was. She's good, though, man. But I appreciate it. He said, I heard the little one crying during the post-game thoughts video, and it had me thinking her feelings captured all of our sentiments when we see them Ravens play. He said, just kidding, but nah, you ain't just kidding. Nah, not at all. He said, I just saw Adam Schefter reporting some slightly positive news on Lamar's injury, with it now being deemed week to week instead of Harb's non-answer injury updates, which had me thinking we have hope. See, hey, that's what we just talked about at the beginning of the video. He said, however, the pessimistic side of me came out, and I have been watching Team Keep It Clean members and affiliates write in and express their thoughts, which, to be honest, has been therapeutic because I thought I was mad. But majority of opinions noted the failures of coaching from Harbs right down to Zach Orton and had me thinking NFL fans have long accused Sean McDermott, the Bills head coach, of being bailed out by high end because without Allen, he has been terrible in his decision making. I feel that the Ravens coaches in particularly are slowly becoming that if they are not that already. They've been there already. But anyway, he said, I say all this to say, rather cynically, I am hoping that Lamar doesn't return until after the bye because I'm trying to see if these coaches can actually coach instead of being bailed out by Lamar Jackson. But do you think this is a controversial take? All the best. I am out. Shout out to you, Eddie. I appreciate it. My apologies for getting your name wrong early on. No, I don't think that's controversial at all. I get exactly what you're saying, but at the same time, we've been here before. We've seen this already, where Lamar Jackson has been out, and we've had Tyler Monken wasn't here, obviously, but Harbaugh still was. He had different defensive coordinators, so Zach Orr wasn't here, but Harbaugh still was. And even then, I remember in some of those games, especially with all the 2-point conversions and stuff, it would just be like, what are we doing? Now, the Ravens, they would fight. I give them that for sure. They would fight. They would fight. They would never really get dog walked. They would never get what they would be in all them games. But some of the decision making was like, what are we doing? And that was years ago. What was that, 2021 and 2022, I believe? So it was recent. So we have some experience going through what we might go through this week, and we might possibly go through the following week against the Rams. We'll see. But we've been here before, and the results have not been pretty. But, hey, hopefully this time around, things will be different. Motivation by force. Next question came from my guy, Justin. He said the Ravens may be forced to stick with Derrick Henry in the run game with this Lamar Jackson injury looking like it could be 2 to 3 weeks. This might be a blessing in disguise, and if our defense can get some life pumped in them, he said, especially with Keon Martin starting, we can run through these next 2-3 games dominating time of possession. Upgrade Keaton Mitchell. Hopefully Lamar gets healthy and keeps trucking along with the run game organized. Wishful thinking. But yeah, I said the same thing too. I said it in yesterday's video where I just really hope that if Lamar is out, which is, we'll see. Will he be back tomorrow, Pratt? Will he be back the following day? Will he be back on Sunday? Let's see. But if Lamar is without for this hamstring injury, yes, that is true. And even if when Lamar comes back, still stop treating Derrick Henry like he's a supermodel or something, to where the only thing you get out of him is him just looking at him and him just walking up and down on the sideline. No, You brought him in for you gave him a raise. Why would you pay him all this additional money if you're going to be like, yeah, you stay over there, Derek. Don't do nothing, Derek. What's the point? It makes no sense. So Ravens, fix that. Next question came from V. Said, I got a question. Do you think since Lamar could be out, that Zay Flowers, DeAndre Hopkins, Bateman will see more targets since Cooper Rush is going to be forced to throw the ball? Thank you. Your videos are my only hope in this sad Ravens season. I appreciate you. But nah, you got way more hope than these videos. But I appreciate you, man. Could they see more targets? They could. Not necessarily. I mean, with Lamar, he know how to spread that ball around to everybody. He gave everybody shots. He gave everybody chances. It ain't like he was locked on to one particular target or anything like that. So no, Lamar spread that ball around. So with Cooper Rush, I expect it to be the same way when he does throw the ball. Of course, he's gonna end up having a relationship with somebody that he gets like really close to, like on the field wise, like, oh yeah, that's my favorite target right there. That's the guy who, hey, if all else fails, let me just throw the ball to him. I'm sure that could happen. But I would expect a lot of the same thing because as of right now for Cooper Rush, there ain't no like loyalty, and I don't mean that in a bad way. I just mean like he ain't got no. All right, well I'm locked on this guy. Well, this is my go-to because he's the backup quarterback. He ain't been out there, so with him coming out there, yeah. Well, you know what? I take that back. What I hope, where I hope his loyalty lies, isn't handing that ball off to Derrick Henry. And I hope Derrick Henry just go crazy this weekend, man. And hey, maybe Lamar could be. But if Lamar Jackson is not, again, regardless, Ravens, they need to have more loyalty to Derrick Henry. Because, again, just like we said in the last question, why would you pay him all this money? Why would you give him this big raise if you're not even going to use him? You could have kept that money. You could have kept that. But you said, no, Derrick Henry, thank you for everything that you've done, but a contract is also for what you're going to do. Y'all ain't been letting him do it. Next question came from Hunter. He said, Brian Flores for head coach. Oh, okay. I'll get a brother in the building. Anyway, next question. He said, love the videos, man. Hope you're doing well. Appreciate it, Hunter. Do you think Brian Flores could be a potential head coach candidate if John Harbaugh got fired? I think a defensive-minded coach would be great. I think he could be a candidate. I think he should be a candidate. I know I've seen what he did over there with the Miami Dolphins. You know one thing about Brian Flores, though? That boy kept it real, ain't he? He kept it so real that a lot of Dolphins fans ain't like it. Tua ain't like it. And he said, hey, Tua, that guy? Yeah, nah, that guy ain't it. He knew. He tried to put everybody on. And now the Dolphins, they done paid him. And Tua's cool. I'm not a big, like, believer in Tua, like, at all. I do not think that he is, like, an elite quarterback. I don't think he's even that great of a quarterback. He's solid, though. But I don't think Tua is it, man. I really don't. But anyway, and I just hate watching that offense. I hate watching that Dolphins offense. It is so frustrating because all these screen passes, all these passes behind the line of scrimmage over and 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 over. Oh, it's so. Anyway, let me chill out. He said, also, if somehow Monken was fired, what would you think about T. Martin taking over as offensive coordinator? Oh yeah, so he don't work with Lamar. He obviously quarterback's coach right now, so that could work. And I think he was offensive coordinator at what, Tennessee, was it? I believe it was Tennessee. But anyway, he said, when my dad talked to me about the Chiefs game, he also could tell the players were giving up on Harbaugh, and he doesn't even watch football. Oh, my goodness. That is not the first time somebody said that. My guy Joe from Hawaii, he was saying he said his 40-year-old girlfriend who ain't know nothing about football, don't watch football. He said she said the same thing. She could tell that a lot of these players, they were like, no, they were not feeling the coaches. They were not feeling the game. They just were not feeling it at all. So that's crazy that a lot of people who not even into the NFL, they could tell during that Chiefs game that these players are like, oh boy, it just seemed that way at least. So hey, we're gonna see. Hopefully, we ain't gotta have no more conversations about Harbaugh getting fired because he not only turns this thing around, but they not only get to the playoffs, they not only get to the Super Bowl, but they win it all.